Right, so it's time for Join It Interactive, and Aisha is back here. Hello, Aisha, once again.
Hello, Israel, and I told you it's going to be very interesting today because we've got a number of issues you are interested in, and you know how to join the conversation. It's on facebook.com/Joy News on TV, and on Twitter it's on Joy News on TV. And the rules, you know them already. No harsh words. Let's keep it tight and have a beautiful conversation. Drama unfolded today in Kumasi when 8 members of the pro-MPP vigilante group Delta Force were released due to insufficient evidence by the AG's office to continue the case. This has generated a harsh response from the minority in Parliament, who accused the Attorney General of kneeling to political pressures. Well, the Director of Public Prosecution is denying knowledge of the decision to enter nolle prosequi on the case, and government is assuring investigations into why its Kumasi office took that decision. So the politicians have spoken, and now I want to hear from you. What do you think?
This is some issue that leaves a lot of doubts in the minds of Ghanaians as to whether justice is free and fair in our country. And if things should be going this way, I think we would lose a lot of confidence in the judicial system. And we might want to take the law into our own hands, because you want to ask if I should take an issue to court about something which is very critical to national interest or national security, wouldn't it have a political background? And would it be thrown out of court because maybe some other person has interest in it, someone who has some political power somewhere?
Once the legal process has been, followed, and the AG, through the exercise of their powers, came to court and said that they, due to, inadequate evidence, they were not interested in the case, and then they were filing for discontinuance. I think legally there is nothing wrong there, but I see the political ramifications of this thing. It leads to, giving. What do I even say? It doesn't prevent people from shying away from this political act. So it gives them the impetus to commit more of this crime, because they feel like political leaders will shield them away from the law.
So with me, I believe that justice wasn't done, because these were the people. We all saw the video that came in. These were the same people who went there, and then in fact they attested to the fact that they went there to free their people. So why should a judge say that lack of evidence, there were no evidence, or there are no evidence, so they should be freed, or so they are free, or there's no case? I don't see anything in that. I sense political power or some.
All right, so those are some comments from the streets. Let's check what you've been saying on Facebook.
Right, so Bayer Jeremiah says freeing of Delta Force 8 is an exercise of political cacophonous, political jingoism, political atavism, and a clear indication of endorsing lawlessness and criminality in the country. Whoever took this unpopular decision to free this criminal should have taken into consideration the increasing state of lawlessness and decline in morality among the youth of today. The AG should reverse its decision immediately and let these guys go back to court for the case to continue. Are we losing the fight against violence and criminality in our society? I can't think far. And you go Delta, hashtag Delta 8 must go back to court. Iduku Danyi says Harry Idrisu and his minority should know that the NDC set the tone for this impunity and lawlessness when they freed the Muntie 3. I'm not in support of freeing the 8 Delta Force guys, but I don't also think the NDC have any moral right to bark. And no, MPP, why do you think freeing the Muntie 3 was evil, but you decide to free Delta Force 8? Well, the Attorney General says it didn't give any such advice for the 8 to be discharged. Judicial Sodro says, I heard the minority leader in Honorable Sunyini condemning AG for freeing the Delta Force members. I felt sad when I heard that. Were we not in the same country when AG freed Mr. Woyome about the state against Woyome? What did they do about that? And were we not here when JM freed Muntie 3 when they were jailed by the court? What are they talking about? They should give us a break. We need to stop such hypocrisy.
Kwesi says, in the court of law, we talk about evidence but not truth. Produce evidence till you say the thing is true. The court has spoken. It's either we respect it or we appeal. Simple. You see why I keep on saying democracy is not good for the black skin. It is full of flaws, but that option we have chosen. And those are some comments from the streets and on Facebook. Also, the Electricity Company of Ghana has come under fire from the Minister of Energy, Boakye Jaako, who says he has received reports that institutions like the U.S. Embassy and MTN owe the ECG huge sums of money. Reason? Those institutions claim that they have not received any bill from ECG and have requested for one to cover their outstanding bills. Now, considering that ECG has massive debts to recover, the question I ask, what do you make of their inability to collect their dues?
Well, I think we need to get the whole picture. But if it boils down to just the fact that ECG just has to present a bill and it's not presenting it, well, it makes you wonder exactly what is the problem in this country, because then nowhere else is that done, because consumers are paying upfront, aren't they? Private homes are paying upfront. So if institutions are owing money and all it takes is just to present a bill and you're not presenting it, well, then I think some people have to be fired, really.
No, this issue is not new. This is an old issue. There are people, there are institutions institutions that have complained about they not being built. I have an instance where a friend who is living in a house where he has no meter, he said he's visited the ECG several times for them to come and give him a meter, or if it's what do you call it, a bill, a monthly bill. Up to now, I think the ECG matter is an issue of inefficiency.
ECG likes the title of being lazy and not working. Because I don't understand why someone is owing you, is asking you to come for your money, and you won't come for it. Rather, they chase those that are supposed to be paying coins, and then they'll be harassing them, disconnecting them left and right. How come a big company like MTN, American Embassy, is asking you to come for your own money, and you won't come for it? I don't understand. If were to be my own personal company, I would even sell it without even thinking about it.
Well, I think that it's an unfortunate situation. It shouldn't have happened this way at all. ECG should be more competent and more apt to act and up to duty to ensure that they provide a bill as quickly as possible so that they can uncover their debts. I mean, recover and get what they want. Because if they don't have the money, they can't also operate efficiently. Certainly, some of these big companies owe the ECG a lot of money. And I think that they shouldn't delay any further. They should quickly process what they have to process.
All right, so one of them says if he owned ECG, he would have closed it without thinking about anybody. And of course, that's his opinion. Let's check what you
don't close it
on
down
Facebook.
like that. I mean, if you close it down, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, but if he was the owner,
No, you can't close
that's why he's not the owner.
Vitalis Dasa says this is not a problem of only ECG. Ghanaian institutions lack proper data handling. From our dates of birth, ghost names in our payment systems and election registers to ECG is really a serious problem. Ba Musa says, I think the authorities in charge should be made to come with better explanations for this unpardonable situation. Heads must rule if they don't come with further and better particulars. And Judicious Odro says, Ghana, we're not serious at all. They seem like working, but they never know they're sleeping. May God help we, the ordinary people who pay exorbitant bills.
And Nasser Hassan says ECG is the most incompetent institution in Ghana. That's not fair. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana. The question I ask myself always is, what work do they do at all? Because I wonder why people will use electricity for 5 to 6 years without paying for it because of their negligence. In the area I live, all the better Ghana meters they shared, people have been using it for the past 3 years and no bill ever came. Some of us have to trace them and we were told they are still processing it, so we should relax. I don't know whether it is cassava or what. They should sack the boss. He's sleeping on his job. Salom Kwesi says, we are so funny in Ghana. So consumer billing is not automatic, but arrangement. And he's asking a question. And Abdul Fatal says, ECG workers should stop the unnecessary yelling and gawking at the minister for criticizing them. They've so far, all right, so those are some comments on Facebook. And finally, Ghanaian actor Kweku Elliott says Ghanaians do not really know who a celebrity is. According to him, Ghanaians consider anyone who is famous or has 20,000 followers on social media as a celebrity. But he thinks a celebrity is rather one who has influence and impacts positively on society. The question I ask, what do you make of this assertion? Do you agree?
Well, I think that we don't really have a better understanding about who a celebrity is, because a celebrity should be a person that will positively influence the public. As you know, where we are from, we look at the most ethical ways of doing things, and then we call such a person a celebrity. So I can call Mame Dokno, I can call David Donto, I can call a lot of people as celebrities, but for some people who just make noise, I don't call them, and I don't see them as celebrities.
Well, I doubt they do, because I believe a celebrity should be someone who has impact in society and can help people change from good to better.
Well, I am not sure Ghanaians know what or who a celebrity is, because if you look at the trend, people are even popular in this country for no better reason. From the dictionary word of a celebrity, somebody whose life is being celebrated. And if you look at the most popular people that we celebrate across the world, they are people who have impacted life. But if you look at Ghana, for instance, you have people who have 20,000 followers on Facebook, and they are termed as celebrities. They have so many followers on Instagram. They also call themselves celebrities. So I don't think Ghanaians really know who a celebrity is.
We've mistakenly intertwined the word someone who has a lot of followers with who is a celebrity. And a celebrity, as Kweku said, is someone who has influence and have a better or a good impact on people that change their lives or inspire them. But right now, everybody is on social media with a whole lot of followers, and we see them as celebrities. How are they impacting our lives? How are they influencing us? Just showing us their faces and their bodies.
All right, let's check what you've been saying on Facebook.
Godwin Akli says, I totally agree with this man. In Ghana, even if one appears on television just a day, he or she is considered a celebrity. And back here, someone says, oh yes, 100. I agree 100% with him. The only celebrities I know in Ghana are Kwame Nkrumah and Jerry John Rawlings. And Samuel Omari Sian Jr. says, the celebrities that I know in Ghana are Chame Kwame, Jackie Appiah, Yvonne Nelson, and DSP Sapong. The rest are just famous. Ibrahim Yakubu says, I disagree with him. Maybe he is not getting the attention he's anticipating from the public. That is why he's trying to change the meaning of celebrity. If you have more than 20,000 followers on social media, it means that you're making impact in people's lives. That's why they're struggling to meet you on social media, not even one-on-one. Dembier says, yes, I agree with him perfectly. People who have influence and impact on society positively are celebrities.
And Miss Bahu says, Obda says, I move in the same shoes as him, because your 20,000 followers on social media doesn't make one a celebrity. Making a positive impact on the lives of people and leaving good marks wherever you go rather makes one a celebrity. Abdul Fattah Abubakar says, that's his view. Anyway, I see no positive impact of this so-called celebrities and always stirring controversies. And Wallace J says, true, because in Ghana, anything that appears on TV becomes a celebrity. For me, I have only one celebrity in Ghana who I look up to and pray to be like him, Bola Ray.
All righty. Okay. And but Aisha is my celebrity as well. Anyway, we let's get on Twitter. It's unconventional, but I pulled out some screenshots of tweets. And it's in reaction to one of the stories we carried out. They had to do with the LPG cylinder program.
Right.
Charles Reku Brobe, Charles Reku Brobe said, centralized filling of cylinders is not new. It's how the LPG program started in 1990. Cylinders were free too. And hashtag Joy News. And indeed, he's Charles Reku Brobe. And if he says that, in such he started the program back then, so he knows what he's talking about. And then on the ECG bit, Kwabena Taylor says, you see, ECG has refused to take the bills from the US Embassy. But if it was a Ghanaian who owes them, you see what they will do to you. And then let's go to the other set of tweets, which David, you showed earlier. Okay, so King David says, I shock give ECG official power. How can they disgrace Ghana like that? And Joel Agri says, is this a case of Jesus paid it or Ghana, my motherland? Now you're.
And so those are interesting comments on Twitter. And on that note, we end the interactive segment. Don't forget, PM Express comes up in a bit. And we have very interesting discussions coming up. You don't want to miss that. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Good evening.